And we're live. Hello, Matthew. I think we've got Matthew. We might have actually frozen. Let's have a look and see. Hello. Okay, so we may have just had a little glitch as we went live. We'll give it a couple of ticks to kick in, and if it doesn't kick in, I might just refresh the screen. Let's see how we go. Not quite sure what's happening here. If I am live, hello and welcome. If I'm not, hello and welcome anyway. Just going to have a check because it was all going well. And then it went, actually, no, I'm going to refresh and we'll see how we go there.
I'm back.
Bear with me. I'll be back in just one moment. Hello.
Hello.
Well, a bit of an interesting start. I think I'm not sure what's glitchy here.
Something is, but anyway, well, hey Donna, how you going?
I'm not sure whether I was talking to myself or what, but hello and welcome to the Fireside chat with Matthew Greenwood.
Hey
I'll
guys.
do as you a bit of the housekeeping, and then I will go and let Matthew to share his wisdom with you. So, how's your week been?
Crazy to nutty.
Crazy to nutty.
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Oh dear. I was just admitting to Matthew before, it's my 2-year-old granddaughter's second birthday, and I'm a bit high on sugar. I'm not sure what actually I'm coming down at the moment. So,
Right.
Oh no, Matthew's gone.
Dropping out again.
I can't see you here. He's gone completely. I can hear you, but I can't see you. Wow. Donna's saying Mercury in retrograde, is it? I'll keep going. Matthew, can you just jump out completely and come back in again, please? Because I can't see you at all. I can hear you, but I can't. Catherine from New Zealand. Hello from New Zealand. Hello, Patricia. I'm hoping that Matthew heard me. While Matthew's jumping out and jumping back in again, I will continue with the broadcast in terms of just doing the housekeeping while we get him sorted. And please remember to make sure that people that you love and your friends, they don't need to be mutually exclusive. Please make sure as many people as possible get to see this broadcast, because Matthew has got some amazing things. And those of you who have been here for his fireside chats before will know how amazing his message is for us. So please make sure as many people as possible see this. And by doing that, you can see the little button that goes that way, or if you're on a mobile device, there's the SHARE, well, I can't even spell, word. Please just tap that and make sure that it goes out to as many people as possible. And we are also live on many different pages. We do this little thing in the back office or the dashboard called cross-posting, which means that we are live also on My Time TV, on Be Live in 5, on Women in Business Amplified. We're also the source of the broadcast. We are live. The original place is Matthew Greenwood Spiritual Journeys page this week. So if you're on any other page, come over to Matthew Greenwood Spiritual Journeys page, and Matthew will be able to see your questions in the comments so we can see and show them on screen. And if you have questions for Matthew, he'll be able to respond to them. But if you're anywhere else, we won't see them, so you won't get your questions answered or acknowledged. That's the other thing is, if we've got the chatbot hooked up as well. Now, don't worry about what a chatbot is. If you don't know, it is just an automated response if you make a comment in the newsfeed, in the comments thread below this broadcast, you will get an automated response into your messenger inbox that tells you that you are registered for a chance to win a spirit guide reading with Matthew. If you don't want to register, you don't have to do anything and nothing will happen. However, if you do want to register, please just type in yes, and then you can go on and give us, or provide your email and phone number so we can keep in touch with you. We would dearly love to do that. Now, I'm not sure, but I think Matthew has frozen again. Do we have you there, Matthew? No. Yes.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
No. Yes. Yeah. So
Well,
please do leave. It's very, very easy to do. You just type in yes, and then we'll say, can we keep in touch? And you can just go yes. Email will pop up. You just tap on the email, and then your phone number will pop up, and you just tap on that. And we'll take care of the rest. And we promise not to spam you. So, and I'm going to kick it over to you, Matthew. No, I'm not. Maybe. Matthew.
oh, yes, I'm here.
Did you get a new webcam?
No, I didn't.
No,
I don't know
maybe
what
you
is
should.
going on.
I don't know either.
No.
And Patricia's going, now you see him. Yes. You see. Peekaboo.
They're trying to beam me up and I'm just not ready yet.
Donna's saying it's like the hokey pokey.
All right.
Oh, no. This is gold. Houdini. We're going to call you Houdini. Now, Matthew, see if you can make me disappear. All right. Let's see. We've got him in the lobby again. It's just really weird because I can see you. I can hear your voice, but you just can't see you down there.
There we are.
All right. Now, how about if you announce the winner of last week's Spirit Guide reading? So we actually look at all the people that have joined into the chat bot. So you must register in the chat bot to be a winner. And so it's randomly drawn from somebody who has registered previously. So I'm going to leave that up to you, and I will be in touch with the winner to tell you how to claim your prize. So
okay,
I'll see you.
Thanks, Adair.
Bye.
Hey guys. Hopefully I'm going to stay on air because I've been dropping in and out. Now, the winner of last week's is actually here somewhere. I saw her. There we go. Catherine Britton from New Zealand. So, Catherine, you've won a free spirit guide reading. And so we'll be in contact with you. And here we go again. Wow.
We can still hear you. No swearing. Okay. So while Matthew, I'm just wondering, now just bring Matthew in again. Now I don't know whether that's, hang on. Oh dear. All right, now you've got the floor. If it happens again,
okay.
We might just jump on a Zoom. I don't know whether it's Be Live or I don't know, or if it's the actual Facebook interface. So we'll proceed anyway, and we'll see. Catherine has got the message, and she says cool. So, excellent. Catherine, check your inbox for your others folder. I'll send you a message of how to claim your prize. Onward and upward, Matthew.
Thanks, Adair. All right, let's try and get through this without it going off air. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. Could I get a nod from someone just to make sure that you're listening? Anyone send a message through? No.
I think you're still there.
I am still here.
Yeah. I think you're still there. Just
Okay.
keep going, and I'll let you know.
Okay.
If you,
All right. Okay.
yep, Kylie's
Oh,
going.
okay. Thanks, Kylie.
It just takes. There's about a 10-second delay, 15-second delay.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Alrighty. So we're going to start off as usual with our short meditation, our grounding exercise. But what I'm also going to be talking about tonight is a little bit about my work, again, what's happening at the moment energetically, and I'm going to step into the native cultures and what's going on there as well. So I'm hoping that I feel like it's really difficult to know whether I'm actually live yet. Okay, because I've got no messages coming through. But anyway, I'm going to keep going. So we're going to go into our little meditation now, which is about 5 to 10 minutes. And we'll cross fingers that people are listening. Fantastic, Adair, thanks. Alrighty, so if you'd just like to get comfortable, wherever you're sitting, get your feet in a nice, comfortable position, cross legs, feet down, whatever you'd like to do, and start off with the breath. So nice, deep, long, full breaths in and breaths out. So as I've said before, the breath is really important. It's to do with taking in life force, not just oxygen, because this is one of the major things that people don't realize that we need to be taking in. Life force is, we don't survive without life force. So a conscious breath draws that in. And I've got to say, if we're not getting it in a healthy way, we have to take it from other people, which that's not the way to do it. So regular meditation will help with this, bring it back to a healthy way of taking in life force. So with that deep breath in, just imagine each breath in is like taking in the sun every rising morning. As you're looking out over the horizon and seeing that sun rise and the energy, the warmth that comes from that. Imagine that as every breath. New opportunities, a new journey. And so with that breath in, with the next breath in, taking a deep one, and then with the breath out, I'd like you to push that life force down through your body, down through your base chakra, your legs, your feet, and down into the earth. And just for a few breaths, continue to do that, just to help open up that line of energy down through your base, down into the earth. And with that nice deep connection from the feet, just feeling that earth underneath you, kind of like the roots from a tree, anchoring yourself into the ground underneath you. Now we're going to take it deeper, knowing that the deepest chakra point we have within the earth is called the earth chakra. And this chakra point is a way of connecting with the earth, communicating with the earth. This is how all the native cultures learn about the best way to do ceremony. It's why a lot of the ceremonies across the planet are very similar to each other, because they're getting the same information from the same place. So with every breath in, taking a deep one, and then with the breath out, driving that energy that you're breathing in right down to the core of the earth, to your earth chakra. And again, just continuing that cycle of breathing. Just for a few more. Generally, an acknowledgement of connecting with that earth chakra is, it's like a warmth all over, or a tingling, which is a feeling of energy all over you. It's like an all over groundedness. Excellent. So now just begin to relax your breath a little. And what I'd like you to do is bring your focus to the center of your physical body. What we're going to connect with now is what they call your core star energy. Literally what it is the God force within, the energy of Great Spirit, God, the universe, however you perceive that. So as you bring your focus to your center, knowing that you're far more than physical, I want you to just keep diving deeper and deeper into your energy system until you feel or see a high vibrational energy source. This energy that you're seeing or feeling is God force. So as you connect with that light, now beginning to expand it out, first up into your physical body. So as you expand that light from deep within your core, imagine it connecting with every cell in your body. Imagine every cell vibrating at a higher frequency as it's touched by that light. And now expanding it out beyond the physical into the human aspect of the energy field, which is about 7 energy bodies out, roughly between 3 and 4 meters in all directions around you. So filling that space with light. Beautiful. Now, on the count of 3, I'm going to get you to explode that light out in all directions. So keep focused on that light. Use your breath if you would like to. Maybe you could take a nice deep breath in now, concentrating on that light. 1, 2, 3. Now let it explode with the breath out. And just for a minute, feel what it is to expand that light out without any limitations, without boundaries. This is who you really are. This is your energy system to its full extent. You are connecting with everything beyond time and space. And as you hold that space, just embodying that light within. Now gently bringing yourself back to your physical body. You don't have to pull that light in. The whole idea is to keep that light expanded out. It won't drain you. It'll do the opposite, in fact. It'll energize you. But as you bring your awareness back to your physical body and your physical breath, now just gently reground your energy down through your base chakra. So taking a breath in, focusing on pulling it down through the base, through your legs, your feet, and down into the earth. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes. There you go. So why I put this exercise together and why I'm doing it with you every Thursday night is a reminder that because of all the craziness, and there's a lot of good craziness and a lot of difficult craziness going on out there, which I'm going to talk a bit more about tonight, but to keep your energy stable, because our energy systems are very sensitive, particularly at the moment. There's a lot of buttons being pushed for everyone because this is all about growth and change and not going back to the norm, because we're done with the norm. We don't want the normal anymore. This is a new way of living, and we have to be able to flow and move with that. So this grounding exercise is something that will help keep your energy stable on an ongoing basis. So my suggestion is at least twice a day, first thing in the morning and about half an hour before you go to bed at night, because sometimes opening up that core star energy can keep you awake, depending on how much you actually engage with it. So I always suggest about half hour before. And so this is a great way to become more grounded for those of you that have difficulty being grounded. One of the telltale signs of not being grounded is a lack of clarity of thought. It's very easy for ungrounded people to get lost or to lose track of time. Being in the present is what being grounded is. So if you're anything out of that and you seem to feel displaced from being at places on time, then maybe this grounding exercise is for you. So just as we're beginning all over again and hoping this stays stable, I just wanted to say hello to a few people. I did say hello to Donna. Hey, Kylie. Dan, how you going? Christina Maidment. Hello. Catherine Britton. You won a reading. Patricia, Holly Broadhead. Hey, Holly. And who else we got? That looks like it. Rebecca Rowe. Hey, Rebecca. I'm glad. So Rebecca liked that one. All right. So what are we doing tonight? So what I wanted to do was just finish off what I've been doing the last two nights, two Thursday nights, which is talking about how I got into this. And what I'd really like to talk about is what I'm currently doing with my work. So it's been, nearly 32-year journey that I've been on so far. And this is my life. This is what I do. I fully commit to doing this work, and it's not for everyone to actually be making a commitment like that. But this is how I live, and so what I enjoy doing is working with other practitioners that are wanting that too. And I thought, on that level, what I'd throw in at the moment is that I'm meeting at the moment so many people, because I see, roughly 15 to 16 people a week. I don't have short sessions. Most of the sessions are hour-and-a-half sessions, and I always give myself a bit of time between sessions. So, I don't overtax myself, because they're very deep, the energy work and the sessions I do. So, but what I'm finding I'm attracting is great people, particularly between about 30 and 40, who are opening up and ready to take this commitment that I just talked about, to be here and to connect more with earth energy, and to make a commitment to being here for humanity. This is the time we're in. This is an incredibly important time. I feel like I should be making a bigger deal about that, because and this information that I'm going to give you right now is coming from two sources: from spirit, from my guides, also from galactic beings. And what they've both said is that this time is a time where spiritual growth on the planet has gone beyond any other time in humanity's history. It's a pretty big deal. And what is driving it is our natural evolving process, but also a higher vibrational energy that's sweeping through and getting stronger and stronger every day. And this is what's actually helping to break down these manipulative, controlling energy systems on the planet. I have talked about this, but it's important I talk about it now because it's all a part of what's going on right now. So, you know, anything of a manipulative nature that you can think of that exists on the planet, you could be saying governments, you could be saying banking systems, any sort of system, the pharmaceutical industry, the control that they have over natural medicines coming through. Because I don't know if people are aware of this, but the pharmaceutical companies actually own most of the natural medicine sources that larger companies that bring in natural medicines are wholesaling. And so if there is a herbal remedy or some sort of tablet that's doing a great job at maybe helping cancer or anything like that, guess what? They'll wipe it out of the availability section, and you won't see that herbal remedy or herbal tablet again, because we can't have that. We can't have natural medicine actually fixing cancer. You have to be putting millions and millions of dollars into donations into cancer research, which is funding something other than cancer research, I'm sure. In fact, I'd put money on it. So there are many, many manipulative systems on the planet, including, dare I say, religion. The amount of abuse that's gone on behind in the name of religion. And this has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. But it's peaking now. But the truth has to be seen, because anything of a lower vibrational nature, controlling or manipulative nature, that is existing at the moment on this planet, that energy is being broken down and it's falling apart. It cannot sustain itself in a high vibrational state. And that's where we're at. Now, the other thing that's going on, of course, is within us. So anything of a manipulative nature within us, any energy games that we play to try and get energy from people, that's falling apart, the ability to do that. Also, any old emotional energy that we're sitting on, that's beginning to come up to the surface a lot easier. So we can actually help propel that a little faster by doing that grounding exercise, because it's not just about grounding. That core star energy that I've got people tapping into, that actually helps to raise your frequency too. So it's kind of like a double banger, really, with what's already happening on the planet and you doing it as well. You can't help but grow. It's a no-brainer. Energetically, it's a no-brainer. It has to happen. So yeah, what else am I doing on the right now? So I'm doing a lot of work mentoring practitioners. So there's a lot of people that are coming to see me that just want to be able to, say, connect with their guides more, or open up their sensitivity, open up their clairaudience, clairvoyance. Generally speaking, why a lot of that has been shut down is because of our past programming. Again, I have talked about this at other times, but it's important to talk about it now because of the subject. And so what's happened for us, sensitive people, empaths, as we're growing up, generally speaking, our parents don't really get us. They don't understand because they haven't dealt with the same things within themselves. So we tend to get shut down a lot, and so we have to suppress. If we keep getting shut down, then the only thing we can do is suppress. And so what's going on for us there is we don't only suppress what we say or what we do, but we begin to suppress memories of experiences we've had, and trauma also. So with that, we have a lot of energy that's sitting inside of us that's sitting stagnant, but it also controls fears and anxieties within us. So when you're running on fear and anxiety, that can create depression. And what also happens is that also can shut your base chakra down to some degree. Now, we are at our strongest when our base chakra is strong. But when our base chakra is weak, then we are easily manipulated by not only other people, but energetically from groups that exist here on the planet that are manipulating people, and entities, beings, spirits, you name it, where we can be very open. And a lot of empathic people have certainly felt that. And so we have to be doing something to actually strengthen our energy system. And so this is where that little grounding exercise comes in. And there's a whole lot of other things as well that I can be giving people depending on their situation. Because I've had to work through that myself, sometimes with a lot of help from other people I know, but other times I've had to learn just by myself. And I've got to say that over the last 3 weeks, I've probably been hit more psychically than ever before. But I'm seeming to manage to get through it with a little help from a few people I know, but also I've had to learn myself as well. There's been times when there's been no other people there to help me, so I have to learn how to support my energy in a stronger way when things like this are going on. So why am I getting hit psychically? Because the information that I talk about is actually there to help strengthen people's energy. And there are certain groups and certain people out there that don't like that because they want us to be easily manipulated. They want us to be like cattle. And afraid that's impossible because more and more people are opening up spiritually, and it's just not going to happen. So, I feel like part of my role is to help support those that are opening up spiritually, to help strengthen their energy, and that's why I do what I do. So helping people to go deeper is what I'm doing a lot of lately. So helping people to access that those subconscious memories that hold fear and anxiety, and that's the stuff that actually is controlling us. So when we begin to release that, when we are able to let go of that, and through the work I do, and I know there are other people out there doing this stuff too, I'm also teaching people how to do this as well. I run a series of workshops through the year, shamanism workshops, which are purposely for this process. But it's a step-by-step process to learn. So that's one of the major things I do, is helping people to access those subconscious memories, to help release old energy, which eventually becomes toxic within the energy system. Also doing readings for people that I think I've talked about that a fair bit over the time I've been doing the Fireside chats. That's what people are winning with these on a weekly basis, free reading. So I talk with your guides. Guides generally have a wealth of information that they want to pass on, but also it's not just guides that are sitting in with people. It's galactic beings too, because a huge thing that's going on now is there are more and more different galactic beings that are coming in and supporting our growth as well. And there's some great things happening out there energetically around what they're helping us with. So they're also helping to break down these systems on the planet, because I've heard from quite a few different sources on a galactic level that there aren't many planets that have the amount of manipulation and control that the Earth does. And they want to see us grow beyond this, because they know that we're being stifled, that we're being suppressed. So what went on in our childhood is still going on now from an adult level. We're still being suppressed. I don't know about you, but I've had enough of it. And I want to push through this stuff and make sure that that we don't get suppressed any longer. That's my aim in life. And I would like to hope it becomes everyone's aim in life, because we are being minimized so much with these controlling systems on the planet. It's time, and it will be time soon, as these systems break down. We will have to begin to start to fend for ourselves in a much bigger way, but that will be a whole lot easier when we start working together more. You know, one of the big reasons why galactic beings, extraterrestrial beings, aren't coming down and physically showing themselves is because if we can't work out our own stuff, if we are so full of fear and anxiety about other cultures and other, particularly native cultures, and we have judgment, we're just talking about humans here. If they came down, you imagine the amount of judgment and fear that there would be in us then, or maybe in some people. So what we have to do and what they're going to do, they will come down and see us more consciously and physically when we start to work through our own personal stuff, when we start to be friendlier, be more open, more loving, more caring, learn to work together more. This is the only way that change will happen, is to actually go beyond our fears. If you have a fear about something, face it. Don't just sit with it. Don't let it control you. You can control it. As I say to most people, any fear you have, any weakness you have, can be turned right around to become a strength. And so that's what I do my best to do. One of my biggest weaknesses was talking in front of public speaking, and so I was literally crippled by it in the early years. But now I love it, and as you've probably noticed on these evening talks, you can't shut me up, and it's going to take a lot to. So I've got a lot to say and a lot to share, and I do a lot of work with people in groups over weekends and through the week, and I just give people what I know, and also what guides want them to know. So learning to talk, learning to communicate has been a very important thing for me, and I think I can confidently say that I've turned that weakness into a strength, and it doesn't control me. I love it. So you can do the same. It's just a matter of challenging yourself and working through those fears. And if you need help, then you know where I am. All it takes is a phone call, because I'm happy to help anyone that wishes to move past those fears, because this is how humanity is going to evolve, is to learn to communicate better. Therefore, people will learn to get along better, and the judgment and all of that reaction stuff, which creates anxiety, wars, displacement, the issues that are happening across the planet around people dying from malnutrition and no food. That shouldn't be happening. There is food getting wasted left, right, and centre in the Western culture. How can we be letting this happen? How can the governments be letting this happen? how can the church, with all the amount of money that the Vatican, for example, owns, how can people be dying of starvation on this planet when all that money exists out there? Where is it going wrong? It's going wrong because there are too many people at the top that want power and want control. And this, thank goodness, this is what's falling apart now. So these big systems that are falling apart is going to start to create a bit of a hole in the world. And what I know is happening, those systems support, each system supports a major system. It's like a big machine. Each one of these controlling systems supports a much bigger controlling mechanism that we all live under. And it's basically filled with lies. As time goes by, you're going to see that a lot of history has been a lie, particularly around the native cultures and what they've had to go through. The lack of education around the experiences that all of the native cultures have had to go through with settlement is monumental. It bypasses what happened in the Second World War in Nazi Germany tenfold, more so. The amount of native cultures, particularly in the Americas, that were killed off, murdered, was just ridiculous. There was a beautiful, if you ever can find this, years ago, SBS ran, I think it was an 8-week, once-a-week program, and it was called 600 Nations or 500 Nations, I think, and it was about all of the native cultures and native tribes in North America and South America, and the genocide that occurred with many of those cultures. But it never gets talked about. You only see it in these little things on SBS or something that not everyone's going to listen to because they don't want to believe it. People don't want to believe that that really happened, but it did. And so it's important to remember that there's a history behind us that isn't being acknowledged. And not just that, there's also a history of extraterrestrial life that's existed, has been found through archaeological digs. I know personally of an archaeological dig here in the Barossa, where not only early settlement going right back 350,000 years exists, and this would be pre-Aboriginal. It was white Anglo-Saxon settlement. Now, there's proof of that out there. You may not find it easily, but there is proof of this out there. And on this particular site, there's a ring of stones. Now, this ring of stones is one of many sites like this on the planet, and I'm not talking about big sites like the pyramids and the other well-known sites on the planet. There are smaller sites that are linking each other at the moment. Not all of them are in existence now, but some of them have been destroyed through either the building of cities and townships, roadways, but also through natural earth changes. But these sites are all waking up because energetically everything's raising in frequency, like I've talked about. And so these sites are becoming much stronger, and they're linking all across the earth. So this is an incredibly powerful thing that's going on too. And many of these sites were run by higher vibrational beings that were not of this planet. That proof is also out there. Are you going to find it easily? Probably not, because no one's going to admit to it, because they don't. It's the same as I think everyone's probably heard of geoengineering and chemtrails, and there is an unwritten law. Well, I actually don't think it's unwritten. There's ruling that people that are in the weather bureau that are flying jets, like passenger jets and any sort of passenger planes, are not allowed to talk about this. They're not allowed to talk about UFOs. So all of this history of what's really going on out there has been suppressed because they don't think we're capable of being ready for it. I can tell you also that in the training of priests, there is, this might shock a few of you, but part of the training is that it's acknowledged by the leaders of some of the church and the teachers within the church that all of what we're talking about is true. Everything, down to auras, down to chakras, down to spirits, down to guides, down to extraterrestrial beings. But what they say, and this was coming straight from the horse's mouth of someone that went into the priesthood, but actually left when this subject was brought up. They said that this teacher said that the people aren't allowed to know this. We're the only ones that are allowed to know this because the people aren't ready for it. So we have to hold that strength, that power. Now, I don't know about you guys, but that sucks. I think we're a lot more ready than these people think we are. And this is the lie that's been kept from us. It's important, or I should say the truth that's been kept from us. But the lies still exist to keep these old systems in place. But like I've said, this is falling apart. And so thank goodness for that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to ask for questions. Here we go now. Hey, Carolyn, sure. Christina, yes, MacArthur comes to mind, produced a great product. Who came from the right place and sold it with good intention. And if sold, his product has been manipulated. Many products have been manipulated. I know for a fact that there has been rubber compound that's been made from a particular synthetic rubber that could outlast the life of a car. That was squashed very quickly. There are engines that don't run off petrol, steam, water, there's even diesel that you can run off old cooking oil from deep frying chips. That I know is done, but it's done by backyard people. But it still works for diesel motors. Donna's just saying David Icke was spot on with the Biggest Secret. That's right. There's a book called The Biggest Secret by David Icke, and he's now been shut down from actually coming in and doing talks, and it's all about this very subject. So Patricia Brown is saying, in this current tense environment where all sides accuse the other of lies and deception, where do we find the truth? It is within. It's important that we begin to actually believe and trust our intuition. This is one of the major things that these systems that are on the planet squash our intuition. And we need to start accessing that more. But again, the thing that will help to access that intuition more is to be more grounded. The base chakra is the stabilizing chakra of all of them. If the base chakra is strong, the rest of the chakras will be strong. It doesn't happen any other way around. It's the base chakra that will destabilize everything. So focus should be on strengthening the base chakra energy. And Vesna, hey Vesna, I read that a coal miner in North America found a gold chain fused with a piece of coal. carbon dated to over 50 million years. Historians didn't like it because it doesn't fit in with the scientific timeline. Exactly. That's just one instance. There's been so many things like that have been found, and they're just squashed. And Donna's just added in, withholding that knowledge is part of maintaining the power and control, of course. And this is just going to keep on going on until we finally say enough is enough. And but I think you'll find, because there is an agenda that's happening by a combination of people and beings, that the truth begins to come out. And if you do have a look at some things that they're playing on social media, not all is truth, but there are many things that are coming up through social media that is truth, that's showing some of this information that we've been talking about that has been shut down. A lot of the truth is coming to the surface now, and this is part of the agenda of what's going on. There are more and more military people and ex-military people that are speaking up about what's happening. Gaia TV, if anyone's familiar with that, Gaia TV has a great series going on it, the Disclosure Project, and this is really helping to allow this truth to come to the surface. So Christina's saying, I'm now aware of the agenda. Yep. And look, this agenda is helping to gently feed the truth to people with irrevocable proof behind it. And this is what's needed now. So bit by bit, this truth is coming to the surface. They didn't want to bring it all together all at once, because a lot of people would just go too much, can't take it all. So it's important to know and to remember that drip feeding sometimes is the best way, because the average person, we might be ready for a lot more of the truth now, or all of the truth, but many people out there, your average person, probably isn't ready for all of the truth to be hitting them between the eyes at the moment. It would be too much for them, and they'd just spin out. As it is, what's happening on the planet with this high vibrational energy, that's already spinning some people out that aren't ready for it, that are fighting against growth, personal growth, that are fighting against being more open and dealing with their personal issues. And so that can be difficult, just that basic stuff, let alone dumping a whole lot of truth on people when they're not ready for it. So it's important that it is done gradually, but not too gradually. It's still going to be coming at a faster rate of knots. And my feeling is it's going to begin to snowball. So a little bit, then a bit more, and it's going to start to accelerate with time until really the whole truth will be brought in front of us. And then people can actually create their own reality, because they're living in a reality that's a lie. So once the lie has been taken away, then it's up to us to actually find a reality that we really want to live in. So what I can assure you is that there are many, many groups out there that are looking at diverse ways of creating community. Community can be in all kinds of ways. And one of the best ways is exactly what's going on now. So everyone that's listening to this, we're all on the same track. So we're all part of a community. There are many, many groups out there that are looking to form new ways of people living together, or not even living together in an old-fashioned commune system, but people to be dotted all over the Adelaide metropolitan and broader area that can be working together, coming together once a fortnight, sharing food that they've cooked or food that they've grown, sharing information. There's some incredible things going on out there. I know of people that are developing free energy systems that aren't plugged into anything other than the universe. These free energy systems that are will be becoming available very soon, are already in existence. They're just being developed and fine-tuned. So this information is coming out, and these energy systems will be coming out. It's part of the truth being seen. I'd love to have some more questions if anyone has any, because that's what I'm here for. So it's all about bringing more questions in, because then it broadens out the whole conversation. So one thing I'd like to just probably finish off with is I've been incredibly lucky to have had a wonderful connection with the Native American culture, with now the Maori culture. Beautiful guys over there, beautiful people, and of course with the Aboriginal culture. And one thing, there was a story I was told in three ways before I went to Rosebud Indian Reservation back in 2001. The first part of the story was told to me by one of my guides, who was a medicine man, and he said to me that take it back 200 to 300 years ago, when there was only a small presence of white people in North America. The medicine men and medicine women and visionaries of the tribe were getting these visions of these strange people, and this is before they'd even seen the white people, but they were getting visions of these people coming over with very unusual looking boats, and but also the destruction that would follow with them eventually, the pain that would be happening with the Native American cultures and the tribes. And what happened was they did begin to get these visions. They started to get the visions, like I said, roughly 200 years ago, but the visions still kept coming, and it peaked around the late 1800s. Now, the other aspect of these visions were that the medicine people, the elders, the men, women, the warriors, would all come back from the dead and fight for the land, fight for the earth, and fight for the people once again. So the same story was told to me by a Native American elder when I was on Rosebud. But then the story was complete with something that a Native American medicine man wrote in a book, Wallace Black Elk, and I'm sure a lot of you would recognize that name. So the part that seemed to, let's say, confuse a lot of the Native American people was that in the late 1800s, when it was needed the most, the elders that had died, the warriors that had died, the medicine people that had died in skirmishes, in battles, in massacres, they never came. And Wallace Black Elk put it beautifully. He said it wasn't to be then. It was never to be then. It was to be 7 generations beyond that time when the visions first started coming. And that 7 generations is now, the time we're in. And this time has been known by many, many different tribes, many different cultures as a coming together of the tribes. Now, that doesn't just mean the native tribes, it means the white tribes, it means the Asian tribes, all of the tribes coming together and working together as one. This is what the Rainbow Warrior subject is about, that the Aboriginal people talk about. The Native Americans also have a version of that as well. And the Maori culture have a version of that as well. This is a common thread that runs between all native cultures, this knowing that this time was coming. There are many prophecies around this time from the Hopi Indians. And we're on a knife edge at the moment. And it's going to take more than just that high vibrational energy to take us beyond that knife edge. We need to start living what we're here to do. Many of us have come in with a mission, with a spiritual mission, a spiritual journey that we have the potential to bring change to humanity. It's not going to just happen. We're not going to get spoon-fed this stuff by galactic beings. They can only do so much. As we do more, they can help us more. But they have a limit as to what they can actually do to help us to achieve huge change on the planet, and letting go of these negative processes that exist on the planet already. So we have to put into action the things that we know need to happen. We need to be the ones making change within ourselves. That will also bring change on the planet. So we are the microcosm, the planet is the macrocosm. So when we can bring more change within ourselves, we actually then help to stimulate change on the planet on a mass scale. And this is happening, but we can't get slack. We can't just stop. We need to keep moving forward. There's far more for us to do. We're just at the beginning of this vibrational shift that's happening. There's another roughly 83 years of this high vibrational energy that's going to keep escalating and escalating, which will, and it will, break down these systems. That's why there's a lot of negative stuff going on the planet, negative beings and entities, because it's their last push. They know their time is coming to an end. And so they're pulling out all the stops, but they're not going to win. They're not going to beat us. We are going to be the ones that will be setting the standards in the future. And so we need to start doing that now. It's really important that we start living what we believe, walking our talk, and not just talking about it, not trying to be the best spiritual person on the block. It's important that we actually go beyond that stuff and work with humanity, be a part of a much bigger consciousness that's creating a much bigger change on the planet, a change that's never been here before, a level of spirituality, spiritual growth that's never been here before. And so we're all in a new way of living, a new way of being. Energetically, our bodies are changing. There is DNA waking up within us that's never been active in a human being before. Our bodies are changing to actually cope with that DNA waking up. Our glands are waking up on a higher vibrational level. Our awareness levels are growing with that. We're getting downloads on a regular basis. Many of us are getting downloads of information. It's why sometimes it's really important to carry a book with you or something to record this information as it comes through. And so it's important to follow through. Look, I'd like to leave you with that. We haven't had any more bigger questions coming in. So I hope you can take something from tonight. As you can see, I'm quite passionate about this, and I'd like to hope that more and more people become passionate as well. And just one more thing, if we can focus more on positive things, not just the negative things that are going on, but if we can focus on working together with other like-minded people to bring change, to work together to help the youth, to help. For me, every now and then, what I do is I'll find someone that doesn't have money, but isn't a poor me, doesn't act like a victim, but just doesn't have money and is right on the edge of opening up spiritually and would really benefit with some help. I will hand my time over for nothing for someone like that. But I don't have the time to do that all the time. But there are people I work with on a regular basis that fall into that category. And this is my way of helping people that at the moment maybe can't help themselves, but I give them information and teachings that will help them. I'm not here to be a guru. That's the last thing I want. I'm here to help other people to be their own guru and to be their own strength, to be a visionary, to be a teacher, to be a guide. And that's all we can expect from one another. We're not here to rescue people. Rescuing doesn't actually teach anyone anything. So we're here to empower people, and that's what I'm here to do. So look, on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for being a part of tonight. And if you want any help with your spiritual growth, personal growth, a reading just to give you a bit of direction, then I'm here. And there's a couple of things I was just going to remind people of. I have a drum making workshop coming on Sunday the 12th of July, so not this weekend, the following weekend. And I have a level 1 shamanism coming up on the 18th and 19th of July. So if you would like any more information about that, please contact me privately on 0410 658 797. That's going to be the best way to get me. Otherwise, it is also on my Facebook site, Matthew Greenwood Spiritual Journeys. So thank you very much for everyone being a part, for questions and for comments. Great to see everyone's faces. And Catherine Britton, I'll be getting in touch with you soon. So thanks again, guys. Talk again next week. Bye.